I literally lived in 3 countries in 2023. Hey everybody, happy new year. Welcome to 2024. Every time I get to just say hi to you guys, I'm reminded afresh how much I love to do this and how much I just love to talk to you guys. It's such a blessing to come into the new year and still be able to have this channel and just talk to you. So it's 2024, happy new year, and we are back. Today, can you guess what we're going to talk about today? I just wanted to start this year kind of telling you people a bit of how last year was for me. I was just thinking about last year, and 2023 was a year and then some. Ha! I say that 2023 was like 3 or 4 years in one. It was something for sure. And like the title says, 1 year, 2 continents, 3 countries. I'm not even kidding. So it's not even a case of I visited 3 countries. No, I literally lived in 3 countries in 2023. Yes. Some of you might have an idea of what I'm talking about. For some of you hearing it for the first time. But I just decided to kind of tell you guys about that journey for me and some of the things that I learned along the way. So if you're ready, let's get right into it. On 2nd of January 2023, I left Nigeria for the US for school. If you see my previous videos, I told you in one of my life updates that I was in school in the US. So I left Nigeria January 2nd. It was a tearful goodbye, particularly because I didn't go with my family, and by my family I mean my husband and my son, right? So yes, of course, especially with people Japa, and you're going to miss your extended family and all of that, but it hits different when you're going without your immediate family, like your husband and your son. But that was the way that things were. So yeah, tearful goodbye, a new phase. There was some excitement, but it was just hard to be going alone. But I went to face school, and I've actually been thinking about if I should do, because I'm not going to go into a lot of details in this video, especially about some of the intricate parts of the journey. And I'm thinking about, okay, is this something I want to share, some parts of it? And you know me, if there's a lesson in it, I most probably will share. If there's no lesson, I'm not just coming here to come and be telling you people about my life and just as if you don't have your own life going on. But yeah, so that's probably something I would do. So I got to school. It was hard because, like I said, I was not with my family. It was a new place, a country I had not been to before, a new course. As much as I loved it, it was something, and part of the hardest part was the uncertainty of when will my family join me. We were making plans, we're trying to put things in place, but plans were not planning, and all of that. So that was part of the really hard thing. Not to talk about the long distance. My husband and I had never done long distance since we met in 2014. So this was the first time we're being apart. So that was hard and came with what it came with. Actually, we do have a video that we recorded with a family friend of ours that also went through something similar. And I think I'll be bringing that out in February. So watch out, February, love month. We're going to be talking a lot about family, long distance and all, but back to the main gist. So yeah, that was happening, the long distance, the uncertainty. But there are also parts that were great. Gosh, I met amazing people. God sent me, when I was leaving, one of my friends sent me this passage. He puts the solitary in families, and I held on to that word, and I saw God. God literally showed up with families for me. And I guess I can say that's lesson number 1. As long as we're believers, we're never alone. We should get to the place where being Christians is more than our gender, more than our skin color, more than our race. It was just the blessing of seeing that, the awareness that I have brothers and sisters all over the world because we all call on the name of Jesus. Do you understand that? Like, I saw it for real, just having a family because of this shared love of God and this family of Jesus that we believe in. So that was lesson number one. God really puts the solitary in families. So if there's somebody out there, you're lonely, you're in a lonely place, you've moved to a new place, you feel a certain way, God puts the lonely in families. Maybe the first place to start from is a church community or something, but look out for that. He has a plan for you in that regard. So yeah, I met amazing people. I made new friends that I'm sure there will be a connection for the rest of my life. Anyways, fast forward to when the semester ended, I started to think, okay, so what's the plan? There was going to be summer break for like almost 4 months. There was still nothing definite about when my family would come. I had a return ticket, and I was just like, should I not? Should I not? You're doing all the pros, all the cons, you're thinking of the cost. If I left, I wouldn't be working because I was working in the US and at least making some money for my upkeep. If I left, that means I wouldn't be working. Coming to Nigeria, I most likely wouldn't be working. I have a return ticket to go. I'll have to book a ticket back. Just all of that. And guys, see, after that experience, I learned that it's easy to say, oh, I place my family above money, until reality shows up sometimes. And then you find that for the most of us, we still will choose family, but sometimes there's that part that lets you know that, look. So anyways, I went through some of that and I'm just like, you know what, I'm going home. I'm going home. God is going to take care of the rest. He's going to take care of the details. I don't care. I want to see my family. And part of the main reasons I made that decision, my return ticket was booked for May 12th. And my son was going to turn 2, May 13th. So I'm like, I'm going for my baby's birthday. I'm going. So I packed up, made the necessary arrangements at work, all of that. I left. I tried to surprise everybody at home. I did surprise a few people. But my husband, like this marriage thing, let me be honest. Like there are some things where you have made it's not like you can never surprise your spouse. But there are certain things that you have made some plans together to intricate details. So for example, he knew my return ticket date and everything. He knew the time. I was trying to form, I've cancelled it. When that one was not working, I was not trying to form, okay, the time, they moved the time. And my husband tracks airlines, by the way. So like if his close friend, like our family friends, anybody that's traveling, he loves like planes, flying, all of that stuff. So he tracks planes. So he just needs to, and he has the details, so he knows when the plane is taking off, when the plane is. I was trying to do the whole, land earlier and show. See. Anyways, I still tried. Let it not be that I not make an attempt.
So no, where people ambushing me to?
Hi.
You think I don't know that you're in Abuja, wa?
Your husband knows.
You think I don't know in Abuja?
I know he knows.
Since 12:40 she landed. I've tracked all her movements. Yeah?
Coming back, I was excited on the way back. Actually, I was excited to come back. I was unbothered. I wasn't bothered anymore about every other thing. I was just excited to see my family and to come back home. And I kind of enjoyed my flight back home this time because there was anticipation. Yeah, so I got back. My friends, my core, they came to pick me up from the airport. It was nice. Like I
yeah, my driver came to pick me up. And my protocol, this is my protocol. Hi. When you are big, see the people that are your driver and protocol. When you are big, you are what? You are big. That is it.
So it was just nice, the excitement, making noise in the car. they booked a hotel for my husband and I to like spend the first night back, into Ethan's birthday. So went to the hotel. It was really just nice just to make noise and just be back and just, yeah. My son's looking at me like, why are you standing in front of me? I always see you in the screen. And, it was something. But I surprised my parents. Oh, that was the best. I surprised my parents and particularly my younger brother. My mom literally was looking at me like I'm a ghost. Like, she was just like, when, like, from her face, it was like, did my daughter die and her ghost appeared to me? She was just looking like she was too stunned. Like, I've never seen my mom that speechless in my whole entire life. And then my dad, he was lying down and he just like, then he stood up. My mom is still like, my dad stood up and he said, my daughter. It was the funniest. It was so cute. It was so funny. My younger brother was just like, hey, hey. I'm like, so this is why you miss me. But it was just nice to be back home, and the plan was again to be. See, when the Bible says many are the plans in a man's heart, but God's purpose will prevail, I think that's the summary of 2023 for me. I didn't even plan to say this as I was just talking. That scripture just came to mind, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't stop us from making plans. So I guess this is lesson number 2. I'm saying it as it comes. Don't live a planless life. I mean, don't just live anyhow. But we must always be like subject to God leading us per time. Like, don't make your plan so set in stone. So even for your New Year resolutions, 2024, you want to do this, you like be flexible. Understand that God's plans are always beyond our plans. The best thing we can do is to plan with God in the first place. And even when we plan with God, sometimes, right, we plan with God like, I want to do this. What we don't know is the twists and turns of how we will get to that destination. Do you understand? So it's just like, it's okay to make all of these plans and to, plan with God, but you cannot be set in stone about how you want those plans to come to pass. His purpose, see, when I say his purpose will prevail, and part of his main purpose is who you become in the journey. Do you understand? So there will be twists and I'm going ahead of myself. There will be twists and turns in this journey, but they are ultimately making you fit. They are growing you into the person that will be at the end of the journey until the next journey starts. So anyways, back to the story. The plan was to stay till August, go back to school. But now, backtrack to April. In fact, backtrack to 2021. We had started an application for permanent residence in Canada, right? And that is a whole other journey on its own. I think that's the main one I've been wondering whether to share, the whole intricacies of it, the decision to move, the way it happened, because so we had been doing that since 2021 and then we kind of just stalled on it. And then by April, from nowhere, guys, you would never, it was end of March into April, the way God did it, like when God shows up in a way that no man, do you know no man can take 1 ounce of glory, because he would orchestrate all things to work together for his purpose to come to pass. Like, that was how it happened. It was a whole lot of miracles. Like, and in fact, part of why I may eventually do a video on that, apart from sharing it with you, is just for posterity, because sometimes we forget the minute details. I've journaled it, but God is in the details. So anyways, things started moving on in that area. So coming back, we did our biometrics, submitted documents, things were just happening. Even when it looked like there was a delay, things would like hasten up. And then we had to make another decision. Am I going to go back in August? Last year, decisions, oh, am I going to go back in August? Part of a major phase of the application we were at kind of required or no, require is not the word, but it was wiser for us to be in the same place. And since we could not all go back to the US, it kind of made sense that I stay. So now the next question is what happens with my program? Thankfully, it's something that I can do online, right? It's not just an on-campus thing. It's something I can defer, something I can do online. Okay, so that's all set in stone. I don't have to lose my opportunity. Okay, next, just a lot of decisions to be made. And so we followed up with that application. Guess what? On our anniversary, like September 14, 2023. Again, that's a whole other video testimony. If you want to hear it, comment that you want to hear it. It's not a guarantee, but I might factor it in. Again, it's a testimony, so I'm sure you would learn from it. But yeah, maybe sometime soon I'll do it. But yeah, on September 14, like, that's one of the fastest answer to prayer we've ever gotten. I don't want to enter another thing. On our anniversary, the approval for our permanent residence was on our anniversary. It was like an anniversary. Like somebody said, so you mean God allowed all of this to happen to give you an anniversary gift? That's what one of my friends. I'm like, he did, right? That was our approval date, and so we had to make plans. Now we were going to relocate for real. Now it wasn't school anymore, because even with school, it wasn't like, oh, we're literally going to live in the US. We don't really want to. But this was like, yes, we're relocating, at least for the foreseeable future. So booked a flight for October 12th, final packing, final, goodbyes, spent time with our mentors, spent time with family as much as possible. I had a sleepover with my mentees. I actually am going to be sharing that, I think, next week or in 2 weeks. I had a sleepover with my mentees. It was the best time. I will be sharing that. I'll be sharing a teaching that I had with them at that session in the next video or two. So watch out for it. We're just in that phase, and just the awareness, another transition, another level of trust, another level of, of seeming uncertainty, but another level of knowing that God is with you. And we left October. It was another tearful goodbye. There was a lot. Family coming home. I wasn't even feeling too strong the day before. So it was like, am I going to be able to make it? Family coming. A few tears here and there. Got to the airport. My friends show up. They actually gave me this t-shirt on the day we left, and I haven't worn it since then. So God's storyteller, my friends gave me, they came, they showed up, we just made it. Like, it was like an enter, like, it was the typical, African setting of our African families going abroad. I'm not even kidding, because we had my family there, we had my friends there. It was precious. It was precious, And then took a 24 hours flight, guys. And I was concerned. It was Ethan's first time on a plane, and for that to be 24 hours, I was going through a lot. But honestly, God showed up even on that flight. Ethan, he threw no tantrums, literally. He was just in the airport, he wants to run around. We can cope with that. In the plane itself, he threw no tantrums. Ethan doesn't really like rice. He ate rice on the plane, watched the cartoon, slept. He was actually like a what they call the model passenger. I was strong. I was okay as well. It was just nice. It's excitement of a new phase and all. And then we landed at Toronto and stayed at our family friend's house. Came to pick us at the airport, got home, Ethan and their daughter had a blast. And now we're in Canada, right? So yes, US, Nigeria, US for like 4.5 months, Nigeria for like 5 months, and then Canada for like 3 months last year alone. And it was a season of a lot of transitions. And I've already shared 2 lessons, but I guess I'll just wrap up with the fact that we never get to a point in our Christian journey where it's like, oh yeah, been there, done that, I'm grown, God can chill. We have to be able, you see, like David never lost a battle, but what was David's secret? Why did he never lose a battle? And he was fighting for a large chunk of his life. When he fought Goliath, he was still very young. But he never lost a battle because every battle he treated like a new experience. He never got to a point where it's like, I'm a warlord. I know all the strategies. No, we never get to that place with God. Every time David would be like, should I run? Should I pursue? Will I overtake? Will I recover? What's the strategy for this one? Should I hold back? What do I do? And that's why he never lost the battle. So for me and for the experience last year, like I said, there were a lot of uncertainties. There were a lot of pushbacks. I won't lie to you, there were a lot of discouraging times. There were a lot of questions because there were a lot of decisions to make. Somebody was like, adulting is not easy. Not even because of like bills, but because every decision you make is critical. Do you understand? Like all the career, the spouse, for your children, all of that. So like I said, there were a lot of decisions to make. There were a lot of questions. It always had to be, should we? Are we still in line? Did we miss it? What do we do now? Where do we go now? Where do you want us to stay? There was a time, even with choosing the city to stay in Canada, there was a time that, we had made a decision that we were at peace with, and then circumstances were going to make us change our minds, and we had to call ourselves back to order. Like, that's my husband and I, like, nope, 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 nope. So it wasn't easy at all. But it was exciting because, like, just knowing that God is with us. Like, we're not doing this journey without Him. Do you understand? And that really, really, really helped. Really helped. And helped the uncertainty, helped the transitions. It was also a lot of, for me personally now, not even as a family, I had a lot of questions and soul searching that I did last year, because there were times, especially when I was in the US, that especially times you're missing your family, and I would ask myself, are you being over ambitious? Are you like, all of those things. And it doesn't help that people, you see that in the video we did with the other February. Make sure you're here. There was a lot of that, but I had to like do a lot of soul searching, check my motive a lot of times. Why do I want this? Is this a selfish thing? Is God with me in this decision? Do you understand? I had to do that a lot of times, and we must learn to do that in our lives. Learn to evaluate, learn to check your motives, learn to check your heart, learn to journey with God. So yes, that was 2023 for me in a summary. It was a lot of transition in my personal life, in my marriage, in my family life, in my career, in ministry. Like every single part of my life in 2023 went through a transition. Transitions are not always easy. And I remember one of my mentees said something at the sleepover. On the last day, I was just being vulnerable with them, and I'm like, sometimes it feels like I'm starting all over again. And nobody wants to always keep starting again. I was like, especially like with career and all of that. And one of them looked at me and said, why don't you look at it this way? Instead of starting all over again, why don't you think you are expanding? And my husband's motto for last year, which became like a family mantra, and a lot of people adopted it, was expansion on every side. So instead of seeing certain things, like, what am I saying? Like, perspective matters. So instead of seeing that I was starting again, I actually started to see it as an expansion and an answered prayer on every side. So that's how my 2023 went. And Honestly, I've never been as excited about the new year as I am about 2024. Trust me, it hasn't been all rocky, all um, smooth this past 10 days or 12 days. But I'm super excited about this year. I'm super excited. So I hope you are too. I hope that if you're going through a transition, you journey with God. I hope that in every of your uncertainties, you go back to God. With every of your battles, ask Him how to fight. Trust Him and use His perspective in every aspect of your life. Okay, again, every Friday, we will have videos. God help me. Every Friday, consistency 2024. Every Friday, we'll have videos. And feel free to comment, to like this video, to share this channel with somebody. If this video encouraged you, it will encourage somebody else in their own journey. Subscribe if you haven't. Why haven't you? And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.